So good evening, everyone. Once again, we are back with our third session in this series of interview readiness simulation. I have with me our panel. So Sandeep will be simulating as the candidate. We have Srinivas to conduct the technical round, and Pragati and myself, we will be conducting the MR round. So thank you to the panel for making out. And so guys, TCS interview, I'll share few guidelines. Whenever you are interviewed for TCS, it will always start with some HR person introducing the panel. And you will be asked to show some identity card, some Aadhaar card or PAN card. Yeah, we are not covering that part, but just, remember that you will be able to show, you are supposed to show that. They will take your that screenshot and everything. And next they will hand over to the technical member for technical interview. Okay, so let's do the same thing. I would request Srinivas to start interaction with Sandeep on technical ground. And the topic, the technical topic for today is SQL and PLSQL. Okay. So yeah, Srinivas sir, over to you. Sandeep, yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Sandeep.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Can you tell us about yourself? Just your BTech and what are the subjects you have studied?
So my name is Sandeep Talukdar and I have completed my BTech from Assam Engineering College. I am from computer science background and basically I love programming. I am mostly into programming. I love the subjects like SQL, PLSQL, then C, C++, and Python. And apart from that, I love the subject like in theory subject. I basically love like the subject. We have COA, then we have TOC, that's theory of computation. These are the subjects.
Fine. So, fine. You are talking about SQL and PLSQL, and did you discuss the subjects as a part of your computer science?
Yes, sir. In our semester exam, we have DBMS.
Hmm.
So in that particular section, I have studied SQL.
Okay. So, how SQL is related to DBMS? DBMS is a subject you have studied, right?
Yes, sir.
So, how SQL is a part of DBMS or how it is related to DBMS?
So DBMS basically a collection of data stored in arranged manner, and SQL is the query, that is the programming language that we use for fetching or for modifying any information over the data.
Okay. So can you tell me what are all the things we can do by using SQL?
So basically there are various operations. They are basically categorized as data manipulation language, then we have data definition language, and then we have control and transparency control. So basically in data definition language, we define the data like how we can define a table, how we can define a particular record within a table. And in data manipulation, we can insert a data, we can modify a particular record, or we can delete a particular thing. And in transaction and concurrency control, we basically control the things like while handling the data, we may face some issue. One of the major issue is deadlock. So to prevent that particular thing, we use various locks that we have in DBMS like 2PL, then strict 2PL and all.
Okay. So can you tell me some commands in each of these categories? You have mentioned like various categories, right? Data definition,
Yes,
language, HTML, and so on. So can you tell me some of the commands in each of these categories?
Yes, so for creating a table, we use create table, then followed by the table name.
Okay.
For creating, for
fine.
inserting,
Just the commands you can list out in detail.
yes, sir. For inserting, we have insert command, and insert into table followed by the data. Then we have if we want to retrieve a data from a table, then we use select command like select star will or star or asterisk will retrieve all the data from the tables, all the rows and columns, and it will display out. If you want a particular records from a table, then we will mention the column name like if a student table is there and I want to retrieve the student roll number from that particular table, then I will define like select student name or student from a particular table. And also along with that, we can apply conditions like where we have then we have having. Then for
Okay.
deleting a record from a table, yes, sir.
No. What I want is like you are explaining each command, but just let me tell you clearly. I want the commands in each category. Like let's like DDL. What are all the commands falls in that category? In DML, what are all the commands falls in that category? Can you tell me that?
Yes, sir. For DDL, we have create command, which is used to create a
Mm.
table. In DML, we
Okay.
have delete, then we have update command, then we have insert into command.
Okay.
And then for transaction and concurrency control, we have revoke, then commit, then rollback.
Okay.
Yes,
Fine. If at all, I have created a table. Okay. So, and even I have inserted the data into that table. Okay. Then, like for example, employee table I have created and I've inserted some employee records and the name of, for storing the names of the employees, I've created one column, but the size I've given as 20 characters.
Yes,
But after inserting some 100 and 200 records, I came to one record where the name of that employee is exceeding 20 characters. What I have to
yes.
do?
So one thing we can do is we can alter the table by changing the variables data types, or we can create thing like we can create another column, or we can copy all the values to that particular column.
Okay, so you are mentioning about the alter table, right?
Yes, sir.
So is it a DDL command or DML command?
So it's DML, data manipulation language.
Yeah, are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my point is fine. There, the name of, the column is for storing the names. I don't want to change the type, data type, but I want the increase in the size. That is from 20, instead of 20 characters, now it has to store the 30 characters.
Yes, sir.
So what happens to my all the 200 records if I change it to 30 characters? Is it going to there or is the data is going to be deleted or what happens? Or actually, first of all, is it possible or not from changing to 20 to 30?
So I don't know much about that actually.
Okay, fine. Fine. Similarly, I want to change the name of a column. Is it possible?
Yes, sir. We can change the name of a column.
Which command you use?
We can use alias command if you want to change the display column. Means like if you're displaying a record, we can use it as command. As keyword we can apply to change it to another name.
Sandeep, which database you have used for working with SQL?
Sir, basically I use Oracle SQL.
Oracle you have used. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard about SQL Plus?
No, sir.
So for executing your SQL commands, which tool you have used or how you have interacted with your Oracle database? Any tool or any IDE? What else?
So basically I use the online compilers most of the time.
Okay. Online compilers. But what about your database?
So we can create database here. We have W3 Schools compiler on that particular compiler, and Oracle Live Server also we have. On that particular thing, we can create tables, and we can also insert data center.
Okay. You mean to say that like straight away on the internet you have used Oracle live SQL.oracle.com. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So that's the database you have used and there itself you have interacted, right? But did you know like if at all, if you have your own Oracle server, then how do you interact with it?
So no, sir.
Okay, fine. You are not worked with that kind of databases. Okay, fine. So do you know truncate command in the SQL?
Yes, I heard about it, but I couldn't recall it actually.
Okay. So if you want to delete the records, what are the different commands you have?
So we have delete one command, delete data from the table. Then So I guess truncate also do the same, but it will delete the entire table.
Entire table.
Yes, sir.
So table total it will be removed, right?
Yes, sir.
Then have you heard about the drop command?
Yes, sir.
So what's the difference then? Drop table and truncate table.
So drop means like drop will drop the structure of the particular table, but truncate will not drop the whole structure. The structure remains same, but the data are being removed.
Okay, fine, that's correct. Okay, then you have the delete command, right?
Yes, sir.
Then what's the difference between delete and truncate? I will use a delete table name. I'll use.
So we can delete a particular record with the help of delete command, but we
Mhm,
cannot
mhm.
delete a particular record with the help of a truncate command.
Okay,
Means like
But-
if you want to delete a specific record, then we can use the delete command.
but I use simply the delete and the table name. All the records can be deleted. I will not be using the where class, right? If I don't use where
Yes.
class, what happens?
It will delete everything.
Then even the truncate is also doing the same thing, right? Then what's the difference?
In truncate, I guess the structure will be stored. I guess.
Okay.
It's like the
Yeah.
column name,
Okay.
but there will be no records.
Okay, fine. And then coming to transaction control language commands. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what are the commands which comes under that?
So we have rollback command. Then we have commit command.
Okay. So what is the use of the commit command?
So once we have means like we modified a particular record or modify something within a table, then to store it permanently, we can use the commit command.
Okay. So after creating a table, okay, I'll create the table by using the create table command.
Yes.
And if I use rollback, what happens?
Means if you use rollback, then it will go to the previous checkpoint. Sir.
Okay. So in now the example, whatever I'm telling is like I'll create the table, create table, some table name I've given, and then I have given the rollback command. So whatever the table I have created, is it going to be there or is it going to be removed?
It will be removed, sir. It will be removed to the last. Yes, sir. It will be removed till the last. Means like last commit.
Yeah. You know that there is a concept of implicit commit and explicit commit.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine. So coming to the update command, okay. So
Yes,
I
sir.
want to update the salary of all employees by 1,000 rupees.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
got my point? I want to
Yes, sir.
update the salary of all employees by 1,000 rupees. So can you tell me how do you write that command? Can you just explain?
So update set salary plus 1,000, then from table name.
Yeah. Set salary is equal to 1,000. I'll set
Yes, sir. Salary equals salary plus 1,000.
salary is equal to
Salary plus 1,000.
okay. Okay, fine. Then if at all, if I want to update only for a particular department, like there is a column called as department number, and in that there are departments where departments are there. I want the updation of the salary only for the employees who are working in the department number 10. Then what you will do?
So I will apply group by command so that I can group by everything by department name. Then I will apply the update command.
No, here is the update command, right?
Yes, sir. So I will apply update salary equals to update set salary equals to salary plus 1,000 from table name, then group by department where department name is equals to the department.
Can you use group by in the update command?
What, sir?
Can you use group by command in the update command? Group by clause in the update command.
I'm not sure, so I haven't used it actually.
Okay,
But I
fine.
can.
So where did you actually use the group by command? You know the select command, right?
Yes, sir.
So what
In
is
select command.
yeah? What is the use of group by class in the select command?
So means like if there are various departments, like we have, it's like let's say a student table is there, and all the students have different subjects in major. Like some have C, C++, then some have Python. Then we can apply group by command to group all the students belong to a particular domain within.
Okay. Fine. Any other examples? Fine. So you have the where class and the group by class in the select statement. Can you tell me the difference between the where class and the group by class?
So where clause is used to apply the condition in a particular statement. Like if I want to choose a particular thing, then I will apply the where condition. And group by will just simply group or arrange everything in, or arrange everything belongs to that particular domain.
Okay. Have you heard about having class?
Yes, sir.
So what's the use of it?
We have some aggregate function in SQL, like we have some average count. So we
Mhm.
cannot use it with where condition. So for that we apply having.
Okay. Okay. Fine. That means having is for group by, whereas where is to filter the rows, right? Am I right? Yes or
Yes.
no? Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So are you aware of PL SQL?
Yes, sir. A bit.
Okay. So what is actually the PL SQL and what's the difference between SQL and PL SQL?
So SQL is basically structured query language, but it's like we cannot, suppose we have a command, we cannot use it repeatedly in SQL. But in PL SQL, we can create procedures. So with the help of that particular thing, we can apply various things, like we can define functions, we can use cursors so that we can store data, or we can apply various conditions into it.
Okay. So what are the features which are not there in the SQL but which are present in the PL SQL? Can you just tell us?
So we have functions that are not defined in SQL, but it's defined. And then we have procedures.
Mm.
Then the concept of pointers that is being used in cursors.
Okay,
Then exception handling is there.
fine. And let's say that I want to use a loop. So
Yes, sir.
it's present in SQL or PL SQL?
So PL SQL.
Okay, fine. That means the programming capabilities are available in SQL or PL SQL?
In PL SQL, sir. SQL is a structured query language. So we cannot apply different conditions. We cannot apply loop conditions or like these things.
So coming to the PL SQL, is it like SQL we can use across all the databases, right? But whereas coming
Yes.
to the PL SQL, can you use across all the databases or only Oracle?
So I'm not sure about it. I basically use it in Oracle database only.
Okay.
As I know, the name is Oracle PL SQL.
Okay, fine. That's fine. Yeah. So PL SQL, okay, it's only for Oracle database, right? And
Yes, sir.
fine. So in PL SQL, once again, we have different types of blocks. Like we have anonymous blocks and stored procedures. Can you tell me the difference?
So anonymous block will not have any names, but stored or name blocks basically have a name, and they are basically categorized into two parts. Like we have name block and we have procedure. And the basic difference between name block and procedure is that name block can contain various statements within it, but it's like a function always returns something in PLSQL.
Okay. So can you tell me the different types of stored subprograms in the Oracle?
So stored program.
Yeah, stored program, different types of stored programs. Like procedure, function, what are all the things we can create in the PL SQL? Can you name them?
So we can create procedures, then functions, then we can deal with exceptions, then cursors.
Okay. Fine. What is a cursor?
So cursor is basically means like a reserved storage in the memory that
Hmm.
we can access through a pointer that belong to that particular cursor.
Okay. What is exactly the use of cursors in PL SQL?
So we can retrieve various data at a time, and we can store it within a particular that memory block, and we can retrieve it one by one, or we can use it in various operations.
But I can use select statement, right? For that, why should I use a cursor?
So we can store it in a particular memory block.
Okay.
Then we can apply various operations into it.
Okay. Fine. I'll just give you a simple block like begin, and then I'll
Yes.
use select star from employee and end. That's a PL SQL block, right? Anonymous block.
Yes.
Begin, select star from employee, end. Is it going to work or not?
No, sir.
Why?
So we haven't stored the means like whatever record we are fetching, we haven't stored it into a variable or memory block. That's why.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. Fine. Can you tell me about the exceptions in the Oracle, the PL SQL?
So there are basically various exceptions. That is, if you are retrieving a records from a database and it occurs nulls, then we can handle with null exceptions.
Mm.
There are basically two types. One was user defined and another was predefined exceptions. Predefined are the already defined exception, and also we can define exceptions like for a particular records if the records has been found.
Okay. Can you name some predefined exceptions?
So we have null exception one, then
Okay.
can't recall it, sir.
Fine. I have got an exception called as too many records.
Yes, sir.
What is the use of it?
I don't know so much about it.
Okay.
I don't know about it, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So, do you know about the difference between implicit cursor and explicit cursor?
So implicit cursor is the user defined, means like predefined. And the explicit cursors are user defined. That is, a user defined a cursor, then whatever records are being fetched that are stored in that particular cursor block, and then with the help of a cursor pointer, we can retrieve the data.
Fine. Fine. That's good. Like, can you tell me the difference between procedure and a function in the PL SQL?
So a function must contain a return statement. It's like from a function we have to return something, but in procedure it will work without a return statement.
Okay. So fine. It may be a procedure function, but I have got some case where I want to return more than one value. Okay. So returning in the sense like when I call that procedure or function, I need from the procedure I want to access more than one value.
Yes.
Return simply it will return only one value, right? But whereas I have got a example where when I call that procedure or function, I want to receive more than one value. Okay. So there is a possibility. Can you tell me what is that? How do you do it?
So we can define a cursor so that we can store that particular retrieved records in that particular cursor, and then we can fetch it one by one with the help of loop.
That is within the procedure or function, but I'm talking about returning when I call a procedure or a function.
Like for multiple records.
It may not be a multiple record, but any data. Two values, 2 or 3 values I want to return.
No ideas.
Okay. So fine. You are talking about SQL and you have used it with the Oracle, right?
Yes, sir.
So the same SQL, whatever you have learned, can you use with other databases like MySQL or Microsoft SQL Server?
Yes, sir, same query will work with slight difference. In slight cases, there are like change in keywords are there.
Okay. So then whose product is SQL? Is it the product from Oracle or Microsoft? What do you say?
Don't know.
Okay. So have you heard about ANSI SQL?
No, sir.
Fine. So fine, Sandeep. It's nice to talk with you.
Thank you,
Now
sir.
manager round will be there. So please stay. Pragati, it's for you.
Yeah, thank you, Srinivas. Pragati, you are there? Hello, you're on mute, Pragati. Yeah, I think Pragati has some network issue, so no worries. I will start. Just let me check. Okay. So Sandeep, yeah, it was good to listen to your responses on SQL and PLSQL.
Isha?
Yeah, Pragati, you have joined? Hello? Okay. Yeah, and so Sandeep, see, I'm interested to know because a lot of technical answers you have given. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So have you used SQL anywhere in your project in academics?
No, sir. Wait. My project was based on machine learning model.
Okay. So see why I'm asking this question, because technical answers, okay, but when Srinivas asked you, what about how do you work with Oracle server, which is with you, okay, not Oracle Live, right? And
Yes.
there probably you have not worked, okay. So let's come to your project. So yeah, again, I'm interested to know more about this project, right? When you say machine learning, so what was it? What was the team size? And from technology point of view, what all different frameworks were used? If you can share about that.
Yes, sir. So my basically my project was based on a machine learning model. We are basically trying to simulate a video graph. Means like we
Okay.
have used GAN models, that is cycle GAN, to change one environment to another. Like we have a summer environment, then we are trying to convert into winter.
Okay.
Like that for environment simulation. The video will be similar, sir. Then,
Okay.
but the environment will be changed.
So you meant to say in the image itself, there will be some graphics to change that.
Yes, sir. Not the image, but it's a video. For video, we are
Oh, okay,
looking
okay.
at.
So within a video, so suppose if you are looking at
Yes.
video and you say that I want this to be converted, let's say from summer to winter, all background and look and feel will change, right?
Yes, sir. Everything will be same only, but the structure will change.
Got it, got it. So what was the team size there?
Team of 4, sir.
4. And what technology frameworks you have used?
I have used cycle GAN, sir, for that particular model.
Cycle, okay.
Cycle.
Good, good. So now coming to the next question, again on the same project. How do you see business requirement of this kind of project? Where does that fit in?
So basically, we are a group of 4 members. Our main objective was to simulate a self-driving car. So everyone
Okay.
has a different task. My task was to create this environment. So we were supposed to test that particular car in that means like in various conditions, like how it will work in summer conditions, how it will work in winter conditions, and so on. So I basically
Okay.
use this thing for weather simulation.
Okay. So yeah, see, because your first answer was like your entire project was on weather simulation. Okay, but now
Yes,
I
I mean,
get it. It was mainly on
yes, sir.
simulation for car driving, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh, now, for this interview, when Srinivas asked why you selected SQL PL/SQL when your project never had that technology. See, generally, what students tend to speak more about the technology they have used in project. So, what was the reason
Yes.
there?
So basically, I prepared for one competitive exam, that is GATE. On that
Okay.
particular exam, we have this subject, the DBMS. And
Mhm.
while studying that particular subject, I love this particular subject.
Okay.
That's why, sir.
Okay. Good. So, have you tried GATE? You have given GATE, or you are planning to give it?
So I have given it last year.
Last year. Okay. Any future roadmap, like how you are looking at?
I got selected also, sir, but I thought of not joining.
Okay.
I don't want to pursue.
Why
Yes,
is
sir.
that so?
So I thought I will take some experience then after that.
Okay. So, what do you know about TCS as a company?
So it's basically consultancy service. So it provides various services to different like organizations,
Government organizations.
different organizations,
Different
not only government.
organizations. Okay. Can you share about top 3 or 4 services in India managed by TCS? Or any top 2, 3, 4 products you know that, okay, these are TCS products.
So one of the major product is that ION, TCS ION, which conducts exams throughout, means like online exams and all.
Okay.
Then I forgot the bank name. One bank name was there, so that's also it's like managed by TCS.
Okay. Anything else on government front, like government services, or where TCS is well known?
No, sir.
No. Who is the CEO of TCS? Okay. Who was the CEO prior?
Can't recall actually.
Okay, no issues. Fine. Okay, I want to know what are your passion, not hobbies. Okay, what things you are passionate about?
So I love to do sketching.
Okay,
Then I love to means like visit various places mostly.
okay. Uh, suppose you are selected for TCS. Can you tell us about 2 technologies you would like to work with?
So technologies like machine learning products or in Python technology, anything, so
Okay,
in
and
Python.
okay. But see, as you know, there is no guarantee on any kind of technology or role. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Being an IT industry, it is all driven by demand. So once you join, you may not have that technology to work on, or you are aspiring in a particular role, but you may be asked to go for a different role. What is your take on that?
So basically I will give my 100% in everything, whatever will be given to me, because
Okay.
at the end it's my job or it's my duty and I need to do it, sir.
Okay. But don't you think, see, suppose you join us and let's say your aspiration is machine learning and Python. But say
Yes, sir.
we place you in some cybersecurity related role where it is more about working on some of the cloud specific environment. It's more of like dealing with hardware network protocols, okay, which
Yes, sir.
does not have any specific in-depth programming, okay, or anything on machine learning, right? And that's where you start. And see, when you start, obviously TCS will look for every fresher to continue with that project for at least around 3 years. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's because 3 years is required for anybody to create that impact for that role. So how would you manage, because you are not working on technology, and for 2.5 to 3 years you are not going to get any direct exposure on Python or machine learning.
Sir, I love Python, but that doesn't mean that I have to work on Python. I would get to learn lots of the thing on that particular domain as well. And apart from that, in my free time, I can work on Python.
Okay.
If I would love to, it's like work on something or like that. And also I can use my knowledge of Python or knowledge of machine learning into that particular field as well. Because in most of the cybersecurity fields nowadays also, this machine learning things are used. So.
Okay. Yeah, I like that answer, because you are absolutely correct when you say that, see, any technology can be utilized for any role or anything you do on the ground in IT industry. That is true. But subject, you should know how to utilize it.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is really good. I don't have any further questions. You have any questions for me or Srinivas?
So I just want to know, if I get into TCS, then what are the ways or possibilities how I can grow myself into that particular organization?
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, just 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Yes.
Sorry, yeah, Sandeep, I was just trying to see if Pragati is there, but yeah, she has joined, but we are having some problems making her panelist. Can you please repeat your question once again? I'll answer that.
In fact, sir, I want to know, if I join TCS or any other organization, so what are the possibilities or ways I can grow myself?
Okay. See, a unique thing about TCS, right? Now, when I'm sharing this, such a framework is there only in TCS, okay, where
Yes.
your career is actually linked with your learning. Okay. Generally, in if you see in IT industry, general trend is you keep on playing certain roles, and that's how you grow. Okay. But in TCS, yes, the roles which you play, definitely it is going to help you. But on learning side, what all areas you are passionate about. So as you mentioned, I actually gave you the example, which is really expected on the ground, where any associate is working in XYZ project, XYZ role, but in parallel, they keep on learning on technologies where they aspire. And when we say by learning means doing things hands-on. Okay. Correct. And then
Yes.
within TCS, see, roles will give you business exposure. Any kind of role will make your business knowledge very, very solid as far as you give 100%. Okay. And on another side, from learning perspective, TCS also has different mechanism where you can appear for some tests, some interviews every 6 months. Okay, and based on those tests and interviews, your career keeps on growing. Okay, and when I say your career impact means, yes, there is the financial impact as well. Correct. Right. So these two pillars are there in TCS. It is all up to us how to leverage them. Okay, but as far as if you focus on both these areas, dedicated, your career growth is guaranteed. That is for sure.
Thank you, sir.
Right. So yeah, my answer is always be passionate about what role you are doing and be passionate about your learning.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I think Pragati has joined. I can see Pragati. Am I audible? Can you try unmute yourself, Pragati? And Hello, Pragati.
It seems her network is bad. That's what she's pinging.
Okay.
And actually, she has joined as an attendee. And
I have moved her to panel now.
yeah, that's what she's pinging. Seems her network is bad.
Okay, fine. So probably we are done. So thank you, Srinivas. Thank you, Sandeep. And yeah, to the
Yes.
audience, see, Sandeep joined TCS just, how much, Sandeep? 6-7 months back?
3 months, yeah.
Oh, sorry, just 3 months back, he has joined TCS. Okay. And he is with our team. Okay. So yeah, Sandeep, I would like you to share how you prepared for TCS interview. What was your experience? Okay. Because I'm sure, the audience would definitely take it, you being their immediate senior. Okay. We are their far seniors, right? Yeah, please go ahead, Sandeep.
So basically, I focused on two factors. Like I was passionate into coding, so I was confident about my coding that I can crack it. But apart from coding, there are few things that are required in the exam, NQT exam, that are aptitude, reasoning, and verbal abilities. So I work on this field. I go through various websites, like we have Geeks for Geeks, then we have Prep Insta. So from that particular website, I try to collect previous TCS NQT papers, or means like mock papers, whatever available, and I solve them. So it helped me a lot in cracking this particular exam.
Okay, good, Sandeep. And any special preparation you did for your interview?
So for interview, I just go through those, means like technologies related questions, like whatever questions are available, and
Okay.
it's like such kind of videos also I was searching for, like if I get such videos, then it will be helpful. But at that time, no such videos were
Okay.
available.
So you can clearly convey that this kind of video simulation is going to help your juniors, right?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Okay, good, Sandeep. Thank you. Yeah, Srinivas sir, your comments on the interview and any further guidelines you want to share with the audience, please.
Yeah. So anyhow, as this particular session is for SQL and PL SQL, let me focus on that itself. Anyhow, in general, first of all, whatever the subject you are strong, so stick on to that, so that always the interviewer will be interested to pose more questions in that subject. That's the first thing. And then coming to SQL and PL SQL, especially if you have chosen SQL and PL SQL, so be strong in the basics at least. Okay. So you have to know the SQL in the basic, like what are all the categories of the commands and what they will do. So you have to know at least the basics. And then even coming to the PL SQL also, just the basic, like what basics in the sense, all the DML commands, DDL commands, DCL and TCL commands, what are all the commands in each categories, what they can do. Okay, that you have to know very clearly. Similarly in the PL SQL. So what's the difference between SQL and PL SQL? And then what are all the features available in the PL SQL, right from the decision making, loops, cursors, exceptions, how select is different in the SQL and PL SQL. Okay, so these things are enough in the PL SQL, and what are the procedures, functions, and the triggers, how they help. Okay, so these concepts you have to learn, and you have to be stronger enough to answer. Stronger enough in self, the confident enough to answer. Okay, so if at all, if you don't know anything, yes, as usually you have to say sorry, and don't guess, and don't give some wild answers. That gives a bad impression. Okay, you just prepare, and yes, if you know confidently whatever the question asks, you answer it properly. Otherwise, just politely you can say sorry. Okay, so that is my suggestion.
Yeah, thank you, Srinivas. Yes, I'll give some feedback on the technical part as I was observing. Yes, so I'll go with what Srinivas has shared. See, I mean, if you don't know a particular answer, you can politely and clearly say, no, I'm not aware about this. And quite a few questions. Yeah, Sandeep, you have done that. Okay. Somewhere you were saying, I have heard about that, but I don't know. You don't need to, okay, guys, see, when I said to Sandeep, it is for the entire audience because this was just a simulation, right? So take this feedback for all of us. Okay. See, there is no need where you want to convince the interview panel that, no, I'm not disconnected from this. Okay, something I know, that's not required. See, interview is more of an interaction. Okay, so you can clearly say that I am not exposed to this concept, and we will switch to the next question. Okay. See, when interview starts, you are most likely to be, you will have this question, what is your best technology? Okay, and you are more likely to be interviewed on that particular technology. So be ready with that. Okay. See, if you are from CSIT background, I'm sure you will have quite a few programming languages. Say Python is there, C++ is there, Java is there, SQL, PL SQL, which Sandeep selected today. Okay. Now see, for any technology, when you are interviewed, even we understand that while you are speaking, because see, speaking is always you are thinking a lot, trying to build the answer actually in your brain. Say when Sandeep was answering, in his brain, lot of queries were also executing. Okay. And sometimes because of that slippage of words, your answer may not be correct. Okay. But what we are looking at is your body language, how your mind is going through, and we can really make out that, yes, you know the concept. Okay. Right. So I'll give you that example between delete and truncate. Okay. We could clearly make out that, yes, Sandeep knows the exact thing. Right. But only thing is because quite a few questions were asked by Srinivas, maybe, that clarity was lacking, which is okay. Right. If you feel this kind of a situation where so many things are coming and your brain needs some assistance, you can always ask for pen and paper, 1 minute time, write down an answer. If it is this kind of video conferencing, you can always use your chat box. Okay. So please feel free. Right. Coming to the MR round. See, MR round, the questions are more generic, trying to understand your personality, your fitment in TCS or any organization. And there also, see, we always look at your body language and we try to get what exactly you are thinking. Less is on what you are speaking. Okay. Because see, any candidate, if I'll ask, see, like you won't get technology. Are you willing to take any role? 99.9% candidates will say yes. Yes, I will take any role. I'll work on any technology. I'll be learning what I want. These are standard answers. Okay. But how you are answering, what is the fact? Okay, we try to judge that. Correct? So don't try to bluff anything. Be honest that, see, this is what I would do. Okay. Correct? Because see, your personality, what exactly you are, if that doesn't come out, okay, and if you get selected into TCS, it might result into something different. All right. So just prepare that way. Right. And when you are appearing for any company interviews, yeah, some of the prominent products or services of that company you should know. Yeah, TCS was a good answer from Sandeep. But as most of us know, Passport Seva, which is complete revamp done by TCS. Okay, if you want to see what were, if you want to listen to what were the problems in getting a passport, say 20 years, 25 years back, ask your parents, ask your grandparents, right? They will have long stories to tell about how they got their passport, and now how things are very easy. It is because of that TCS service. Okay, so bring out all these examples. Management and leadership, it is always advisable. You should know who is CEO, who is the HR head for TCS, who was the previous CEO, who is now our chairman for Tata Group. These answers you should know. Final tips on interviews: simulate as much you can. See, when you listen to your own audio simulation, you will definitely improve. When you listen to your own video recording, you will definitely improve. Okay. You can form team with your friends who can mock this kind of technical and MR panel. Keep it very serious. Okay. and your friends who are doing that mock as an interviewer, they should give you right feedback, exact feedback. Right feedback means exact feedback. Okay, and you should be willing to work on that. Correct. See, these 3-4 kind of mock interviews will take your confidence to next level. That is for sure. Okay. I think that's all for today. We can wind up today's session, and yeah, we will come back again on Monday. So Monday's topic will be user interface, right? And once the recording of this video is available, I will share this recording in our POI Launchpad community. Okay. So if you are not part of Launchpad community, I'm sharing one recording link on chat window. This is simple 10 minutes recording. We have started this engagement since almost 2 months now. Okay. And there are thousands and thousands of students part of that engagement. They have benefited. You are never late. You can join today also, and you can look at all those past recordings and prepare well. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, Srinivas.
Yes, sir.
We can close
Thank
this
you, sir.
session. Thank you.
Thank you.